shift together here from the D-line. Here's Ryan to throw. Jones has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On first down, Ryan. And that's incomplete.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
2nd and 10 now, Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now it's Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And there's a flag on the field. And he's got it up and through. Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Charles, across the board this past Sunday, just looking league-wide, passing really reigned supreme. You had 8 receivers over 100 yards. Only 1 tailback, though, hit the century mark.
And you know I've been touting the running back renaissance for a while, right? You get tired of me talking about that at lunch, like, okay, enough. And guess what? The passers and the catchers are still ruling the NFL. 8 wide receivers and 1 running back hit the century mark as receivers. And that was on Sunday. Spencer Ware doing that for Kansas City as the running back. Lamar Miller, the only tailback on the ground, going over 100 yards. So my running back renaissance may have to wait a little while. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's McKinnon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Bradford to throw it. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brooks Reed in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. McKinnon. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 4th down, they do snap it. Bradford, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And here now come the Falcons. And they were able to punch it in the end zone.
My second body cost a lot. After I bought it, I just wore it home. Reading philosophy and gossip rags. Spending my bottom dollar on my toes. I'm a pacifist who's never not been pacified. I'm a piece of... It's a point of pride. I'm the super rich complaining I want more in life. Cry, baby, cry, oh, cry, baby, cry, oh. Really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference to me. I don't understand what you're saying, only kinda listen. Make room for a man.
Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features 2 quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Cousins' Redskins going up against Ryan's Falcons. With that, let's send you to Atlanta now, where Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis are on the call.
Larry, in what is scheduled to be its final season as an NFL stadium, there's a look at the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Washington Redskins and the Atlanta Falcons. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And we are underway from Atlanta. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get the football here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. A glance at the starting unit. Julio Jones, a threat on the outside, of course.
Combines great athleticism, incredible speed, and a whole lot of toughness to be one of the better receivers in the NFL.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
This is Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now the first carry from Matt Jones. Uses the stiff arm. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. Tackle made there by Robert Alford. Starting 11 here for the offense. It's going to take some snaps here in a second. Wide receiver Pierre Garçon, always been a very good force in this league.
I agree with you totally on that. Even as a youngster, played with a fury, played with force, continues to do that now as a veteran, and knows how to mentor the younger guys. Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator's relying on some of the assistants.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it.
Touchdown, Washington! Deshaun Jackson, 37 yards. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. And this will wind up being a poor decision to bring it out as he's out of bounds shy of the 20. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. And ready for 3rd and 6. Now Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They come out here in the eye. Freeman again, a first down carry. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there. And it'll be first down Atlanta.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Back Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Jonathan Babineau in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a second down throw for Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So a second down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Off the play fake, Cousins. Well, this is caught by Jackson. 23 yards on the play.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. And we've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that.
He's going to go. Mac Jones. Touchdown, Washington. Matt Jones, 54 yards. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. From the gun on third down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's brought down after a good gain. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses, because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game, because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here we go on fourth down with Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And a short gain down to about the 33. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Brief break in the action here. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. They go play action here on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They'll go again to Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Jordan Reed was the intended target. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And able to find Garcon. 11 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
Here we go.
1st down. Here's Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Last week, Charles, I got your thoughts on the touchback now being out to the 25 instead of the 20. In Week 1, we saw the Patriots going with the higher kickoff, shorter, to try to pin teams back inside the 20. Interesting how some teams may approach that.
And you always have to think about the Patriots as being one of the teams that's going to be on the cutting edge of analytics and how they see things. That old thinking outside of the box. They've done it the entire tenure of that organization, the present regime that we see. So when they're sky kicking it and trying to keep them inside the 25, they're playing the percentages of the farther you have to go to try and score, the better our odds of you not getting there and making a good play ourselves.
So at 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Niles Paul, the intended target. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. On fourth down, they do snap it to Cousins. Jackson's got it over the middle. Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Deshaun Jackson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Surveying the field. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Ryan, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kendrick Golston coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. Now it's Crowder. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. We're ready to get to the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Here we go now.
A first down throw for Cousins. He sets up the screen to Jones. Give him 11 on the gain there, and that leads to a Washington first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Give them 11 yards that time and a new